Very, very poor and embarrassing performance from Manchester United. The fact that we didn't deliver one accurate pass into Manchester City's box all game, and I don't even want to get the stats up on my screen because Manchester City was so dominant, is particularly embarrassing. While Manchester City have the referee on their side, and look, the referee wasn't good. They were all over us all game. I cannot say we were robbed because let's look at these statistics here. I'm going to get them up on my screen. 74% possession, 3.32 XG to our 0.6. They had 27 shots to our 3. At the end of the day, I look at the lineup and I go, look at our starting 11 versus their starting 11. They've got their strongest starting 11. We've got 4 players that would have started today injured. We've got lots of key players missing. This is a very weak United starting 11. That being said, the difference in squad quality, I knew that we weren't going to put in a great performance. I knew it was going to be part of the bus and make the most out of it. And I thought the first half approach was quite good because we did have some kind of threat and we could have scored 2 or 3. But the second half was just pin back, pin back, pin back. Couldn't even do anything in attack, and that approach was particularly poor. And despite difference in squad quality, despite me not having much hope going into the game because I knew that we weren't going to be able to play good football and we weren't going to do much when you looked at the difference in squad, we need to be doing better than that. I can't excuse that performance because we were absolutely dominated. We were absolutely embarrassed. And I think what annoyed me the most was the lack of quality on the ball. We couldn't keep the ball for more than half a second. There was very few players that could keep the ball. We just kept giving the ball away. And that's a big problem that we have. And that just shows how much work Ineos have got to do. That's a big problem we've had for a while is we don't have players that are comfortable in possession. Delo can keep the ball. Maino can keep the ball. Other than that, who could keep the ball today as well? The way we handled the ball, the fact that we kept giving it away, the fact that we could not build up, the fact that lots of elements of this was very unsustainable, I did not like. The football we played, I did not like, but I knew we were going to have to play that way and try and exploit space in behind. And I thought our approach in the first half was decent to begin with. We did do that quite well. Bruno with some brilliant passes. Rashford with an unbelievable finish. There was an opportunity for Rashford to get a second and third goal in there. But ultimately, then it just became Man City pinned us back, realised that they can't give us space, and we couldn't even play our own half. And it was embarrassing how much better City were than us. I knew they were going to be better than us today. I know that there's not much more we can do with the players available, but you've seen worse teams go and give Man City more of a game and be able to play out from them. It's the lack of quality we have on the ball, the lack of quality we have in build-up, the fact that we can't play out from the back, the lack of quality there is what I just found really, really concerning. I just looked at this and said, look, 12, 13 players need to go. 12, 13 players need to go. But you bring in Amrabat, Kambuala, Forson on as subs. There's obviously a massive difference in quality. And the Phil Foden goal was fantastic. But you look at it and you go 6 losses in all competitions this season. We are now 11 points from 4th. We've lost 11 out of 27 Premier League games this season, and we've been absolutely humiliated in terms of all-round performance. Despite difference in lineups, despite me not expecting us to win and being very happy with a draw, I think the fact that there was just nothing after the goal is a little bit embarrassing. I just think in attack, we produced nothing. We need to be doing more than that. And that being said, I don't really want to fault the players because while I do often go in on players and their work rate and stuff, I actually don't think the players did much wrong in terms of, I think they gave 100%. I thought they really fought. I thought the work rate and attitude from the players was good. And then they just switched. I think they just, once it was 2-1, I think they just went. Which is a shame and they shouldn't be doing that. But I actually thought there was some good individual performances. I thought Varane was our best player. I thought Delo had another good game, and I thought I'll get Delo's game numbers up here because I am going to be positive to begin with. 100% tackle win rate, 100% dribbles completed, 100% aerial duels won, 80% dual win rate, 8 out of 10 duels won, 3 out of 3 tackles. There was some really good performances there from Diego Delo and Rafael Varane. And Diego Delo was pretty much responsible for every time we could actually get the ball out our final third. Like, we didn't have Delo today, we'd be in trouble. He basically nullified Doku, and then as soon as he left that side, Man City went and scored down that side. But Diego Delo was our only player that could actually just get the ball, keep the ball, and play it out of our own third. We were pinned back into our final third nearly all game, particularly second half by Man City. And Diego Delo was literally like the only player that could keep the ball. A player that I'm incredibly embarrassed by, and a player that I backed and I wanted to come on at left back because Lindelof was shocking, was Amrabat. But Amrabat put in an embarrassing performance today. You can't even see that. I might zoom out. But 17 minutes played, 4 touches, 2 out of 3 passes in 17 minutes, just one absolutely nothing. That has got to be one of the worst cameos I've ever seen from Amrabat. I wanted Amrabat to come on. I was so excited for us to sign Amrabat. And yes, he's not a left back, but my God, he made Lindelof's left back cameo look good, and Lindelof was getting cooked by Foden. But what isn't acceptable, and what I got a big problem like, that is just unacceptable. That was the one pass into Garnacho, was the only time he got in their penalty area via a pass. the fact that we could not get between City's lines, the fact that we could not play between City's lines just shows the lack of quality in the squad. And some of it is on Ten Hag. The tactical decisions to set up were shocking. And I know that we had to park the bus. And I know that that was the only way we were going to get a result versus City, because that's what we did at Anfield. But the fact that we have to be that bad and that defensive to still concede 3 goals at the Etihad is just completely and utterly embarrassing. I think a massive problem is just a lack of qualities in the players. Lindelof's not good enough. Amrabat's not good enough. Johnny Evans will obviously need to be moved on. I like Johnny Evans, but he's going to need to be moved on. Varane, who is good enough and was arguably our best player today, will probably leave. Casemiro, I thought he had a good first half, but once Foden was causing problems and making those runs in the second half, we couldn't track him. Casemiro, if Saudi put an offer in, get rid. McTominay was an absolute ghost. I understood McTominay's presence in the first half. He did a lot of off-the-ball work. I thought he was going to allow us to play over the press and win those duels in the air with Nana going long, but he didn't win any of those duels. He didn't score. McTominay did nothing. Bruno Fernandes started really well when he had the ball. He made a few great passes, could have got 2 or 3 assists. Then he turned into a ghost. Bruno McTominay got marked out of the game, and all of a sudden we were just pinned back into our own third, and we couldn't play out, which meant Bruno couldn't get the ball, McTominay couldn't get the ball, the attackers couldn't get the ball. And I thought Garnacho was poor today. I think he's knackered. I think he needed to come off earlier. He couldn't get the ball. He was starved. When he did get the ball, he didn't do enough of it. Rashford did have opportunities. He did an amazing goal, but after that, he was poor. And arguably, you can say that Rashford was fouled by Walker because the amount of soft free kicks Man City got and that Rashford's running at full pace. But it's not one of those where it's a blatant foul. You can just argue he's fouled. And if it was the other way around, Man City probably would have got a player set off, and Man City probably would have got a free kick because the referee was on Manchester City's side. But I'm not going to sit here and moan about the referee. Yes, 2 refereeing decisions that were debatable. Man City went and scored after, but they were all over us. They were dominant. It was coming. It was that's the truth of the matter. So while Rashford was, maybe went to ground softly, but it probably was a foul when you look at how soft the free kicks Man City were. I feel like I'd be silly to complain. And all in all, I'm just disappointed. I didn't think we were going to win, but I think the fact that we went 1-0 up and the kind of game was in our hands, we had an opportunity to go 2-0 up, and the way that we just let it slip, the way that we just, I don't know, if we can't match their levels is so frustrating. They're technically better than us, but they're athletically better than us. We just lost our legs towards the end. And I think the players tried and I think they worked hard, but we're just not good enough. And it was very similar to the Arsenal game. Went 1-0 up against Arsenal. It was 1-1. Could have gone either way. Garnacho arguably scored that winner versus Arsenal. But then at the end of the day, Arsenal went and scored, made it 2-1, made it 3-1, ended the game like that. It felt like that. And considering we've got Liverpool coming up soon, it's not great. It's not great. It's a good start, but it's not great. I think Varane was incredible. I think defence did all they could. But you know what? We started well. We stayed alive in the game. We scored the goal, but then we were just passive and slow. What frustrates me is what we did on the ball. We defended well, but on the ball, we were so poor. We were so passive. We were so slow. I don't know if it's... I think as much as I want to go on 10 off for how poorly set up tactically we were, I think that's all he could do tactically. It's the fact that we were so poor and slow at playing out from the back. Is that Ten Hag's fault? Should Ten Hag be doing that more? Players coaching them better, coaching to that better? Maybe yes. But is it also just due to the lack of technical quality in the squad? Yes. I mean, I think the substitutions, I wanted Ahmad and Anthony and Amrabat to come on. I thought we needed the legs, but they were absolutely atrocious. So to be fair to Ten Hag, substitution-wise, I thought Camboire going on at fullback made sense because Lindelof was being cooked. I think Amrabat coming on, we needed the legs, made sense. And I think, Anthony coming on, we needed the legs. Garnacho and Massey were exhausted, made sense. But the subs were atrocious, and I think that just speaks, volume of the quality of the squad. Anthony's absolutely dreadful. It's a mixture of, Ten Hag should be doing better. I hate the fact that we have to go to the Etihad and play football like this, and it's poor and it's bad, and we should be doing better with a team like that against that. But then also you look at the team, you look at the lack of qualities in the team, and it is poor. It is really, really poor. Delo was good. Nana was good. I thought Nana had his best game in a shirt, but I do think he could have saved Foden's second one. And Varane was good. Look at Delo here. Bypassed more opponents, 28, and has completed the second most progressive passes out of everyone on the pitch. I thought Delo had a really, really good game. I thought Nana had a really good game, made some good high claims, good saves, particularly in the first half. His long balls were good. I thought Nana was good. I thought Varane was good. There was some really good performances in the defence, but it was our ability on the ball. We're so bad on the ball. Referee on their side or not, we are so bad on the ball. You look at how Man City move the ball, play the ball. They are so far ahead of us. Not like City are better than us. They are so miles ahead of us and so miles clear of us. And that's, for me, what massively hurts as a Manchester United player, Man United fan. Because if you look at things like the average positions, look at us pinned back compared to Manchester City. Absolutely unacceptable. And while Ten Hag needs to do better, it's just a big part of it is just on how poor the players were. I do think for the most part, Kobbie Mainoo had a very difficult game, but a very good game. And I think we do lack the player quality. But I also just think tactically, maybe Ten Hag could have found a way to not invite so much pressure onto the point that we're stuck in our final third and can't play out, because Ten Hag will know that we don't have players that can play out bar Delo in that lineup. I don't know. Like, part of me is sort of fed up with Ten Hag and thinks, this is the least amount of shots that Man City have conceded in the Premier League game. And yes, it was a poor lineup, but it's completely unacceptable. But a part of me is like, is it Ten Hag's fault? Is it not Ten Hag's fault? I think Ten Hag should be doing better, but I don't want to be. I think Ten Hag should be doing better, and I think how bad we were is absolutely awful. But I also look at how bad our starting 11 is. But I think worse teams have done better against City, because you look at the field tilt. There's absolutely nothing that we did. You look at these statistics, absolutely nothing. Look at the threat, absolutely nothing compared to Manchester City. You look at ball progression, absolutely nothing. They were just, other than Delo, they were just levels ahead of us, expected threat. They were so dominant, and that's what's worrying, how much better they were than us. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Bye.